All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a couple of real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, gonna be talking about how dopey American radio stations are right now and how they promote stuff that they don't play. Anyway, before I get there, here's a great example of that. Cimarron 615. This came out last year, brand new distance. If you like Poco, America, the Eagles, Firefall, stuff like that. This is right in that wheelhouse, and I'm pretty sure you're going to really like it. Everybody who's gotten back to me on this last year said, good recommendation. Keep the recommendations coming. Well, you know, bands don't put out music like this anymore for the most part. So check this out. It's basically an extension of the legacy left to us by the late, great Rusty Young and the late, great Paul Cotton, who were both in the band Poco and almost passed away simultaneously. I know that's kind of a weird thing to think about, but and it was during that super safe and effective time period. And a lot of that was going on. And both of those guys, I think, were in their 70s. So, could be something else, right? Anyway, so let me get to this thing about how American radio stations are just, I don't know what they're about anymore. So Mark Knopfler releases new One Deep River track, Two Pairs of Hands. So Mark has dropped another song from his upcoming album, One Deep River. Did you know that Mark Knopfler had a new album coming out? He's the guy, by the way, from Dire Straits, okay, in case you had forgotten about it. Because again, American radio stations, they've kind of eliminated a lot of the Dire Straits music that you used to hear on the radio. So you hear Money for Nothing, maybe, and you might hear Sultans of Swing. That's it. Two. So you heard two songs by Dire Straits on the radio. They have all of this great material. They're a band that was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mark Knopfler, by the way, did not attend that ceremony. Neither did his brother David. So anyway, so this radio station, right, which plays classic rock, does not play any new material because, again, the thinking must be at the corporate level. Now, follow me here. I don't know this for sure, that people just can't handle new music. They just want pure nostalgia. And by the way, they want a very narrow view of the music world that they lived through in the 70s, 80s, and maybe into the early 90s, right? By the way, this is a radio station that will play Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and tell you that that's classic rock. All right. Whereas Mark Knopfler, he's kind of quirky. He's got like a country thing going on. He's got like a bluegrass folky thing sometimes going on. And classic rock stations used to play it. They used to play all of it because we didn't do all of this music segregation that we're currently doing. So the album called One Deep River is coming out on all of your usual platforms starting on April 12th. This will be Mark's first album since 2018's Down the Road. Down the Road Wherever, actually. That's what it was called. It'll be released digitally and on CD, cassette, and a 2 LP set. There's also a box set featuring the standard CD and 2 LP release. Imagine you pull into a gas station and you hear about this new gasoline and you'll get 100 miles to the gallon. You walk in and you ask the guy and you say, hey, I hear about this new product that's out there. It's going to save me money and I'm really excited about it. And I'm wanting to purchase some of that. Well, we advertise that it's available, but we're not actually selling it here. This is what they're doing. I know it's kind of a tortured analogy. I'm sorry. I'm trying, right? But this is what they're doing. The new Mark Knopfler, but we're not going to play it. The legendary guy from Dire Straits. You may remember Dire Straits. We played 2 songs by them. We're going to not play anything new. But his new song is out there. How is this a sustainable business model? So say 50 years from now, you still got classic rock stations playing the music from 1970 something to 1990 something, right? And pretty much everybody has moved on to the next world at that point. There would be no risk, right? Bringing in some things. I guarantee you they won't, because these are the songs people know, Dave, and they're going to pass these songs down to the next generation. Why should we discover, hey, it wasn't a hit, Dave? It didn't chart on the Billboard. I love these guys that go on YouTube that say, oh, well, it wasn't a Billboard top 40 hit, so it really wasn't a hit, man. Even though FM radio stations, they were playing the crap out of it, they don't count. They didn't have a chart. People don't remember those songs. You know why they don't remember them? Because you've memory holed all of them. I could do an 80s rock station with, I'd say, I don't want to say a high percentage, but maybe like 20 or 30% of the music you haven't heard in 30 something years. Easily. I could do that on purpose and then still kind of bring in some stuff that is still played. But then there's some stuff that's played rarely. And then there's some stuff that hasn't seen airplay in 30 something years. Well, Dave, radio is dead, dude. Just make your Spotify playlist. That's what I do. I just add songs. I'll add these new Mark Knopfler songs to my playlist. Cool. All right. So, but here's the problem. This is a radio station, right? They're still selling advertising. They're billing themselves as a classic rock radio station. I worked at a classic rock station, and one of our liners, right, said it doesn't have to be old to be a classic. And the reason we said that was you knew right away if a song was good or not, number one. And number two, it had a sound. Now, I've heard the Mark Knopfler songs on this new record. I've heard most of them. And I can tell you with a good degree of certainty that this is classic rock. This is classic rock, and it's not taking a big risk to put it on 93.9, your classic rock station. There's very little risk. So I'm just curious, what is wrong? There's like some kind of a disconnect. And this is all done at the corporate level. You can't call one of these radio stations and complain. They'll send your complaint, by the way, to Toledo, right? See how I work Toledo in? So, and the people in Toledo are going to laugh. They're going to go, yeah, whatever. We're still making money off the radio station. We can still put on some syndicated show in the middle of the day and get people to listen, because we're the only thing they can listen to, because everything else is so bad, they'll listen to us. Okay. Or they're in a certain demographic. People over 50. Where else are they going to go to listen to music? They're lucky they're still getting this music. It's exactly what these corporate idiots think about you. You're lucky you're still hearing those 2 songs by Dire Straits. We could just pull them off the radio. We could play all 90s music and ruin your day. and they would. And guess what? They would still get enough of a ratings point where they could justify, the advertising, and we can do all this stuff that we've always done. We can spend money to make money, but not a lot of money. Everything is so automated and stupid and just out of whack from where it used to be. There's no soul in this radio business anymore. I mean, who's at the radio station in the production studio dropping albums on a turntable? Nobody. That's not even a thing. Nobody does that. Wouldn't it be cool, though, if somebody did and they cared about music and they said, man, we're going to play these two songs off of Mark Knopfler's new album, One Deep River. And they're going to be in heavy rotation because it's Mark bleeping Knopfler, for crying out loud. How many more albums will Mark put out there? Took him, what, 5-6 years to put this one out? I don't know, people. Maybe I'm just barking up a tree that doesn't exist, right? I'm yelling at kids who don't exist. They're not really out there on the front lawn. I think they are. I think they are. And I think there are a few people like me. Not everybody, but there's a couple of people out there like me. So thank you for watching, by the way. You guys, bunch of people bought me a coffee yesterday. I appreciate that. Times are tough. This algorithm, it can't make up its mind. Will this video go viral for no apparent reason, or will it get 600 views? Don't know. We'll find out soon, though. Before I leave, which I think is appropriate at this point, Cimarron 615, brand new Distance, another album. What? Who? What's that? It's classic rock. It's country-ish. It's, if you like, again, Poco, Firefall, the Eagles, America. Yeah. I mean, that's good music, right? Of course, that kind of stuff slowly going away, right? You're not hearing the full catalog. When's the last time you heard the song Wasted Time by the Eagles on either adult contemporary station or a classic rock station? I haven't heard it in probably 10 years, maybe longer than that. So just saying, that used to be a regular staple on a good adult contemporary station. Amazing vocal by Don Henley. But again, it's nowhere to be found. I mean, so I guess I can't expect, right, these radio stations to play newer stuff because they can't even play the older stuff, right? And that's the truth. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. I'll get down off of my soapbox and I'll come back and do this again.